The Ivanyshyn family vacation of 1988. Mom and Dad, that is Janet and Bob Ivanyshyn, and most of the kids, Tracy, Sherry, Dylan, and Lauren, went to California, USA. They took over 25 days to get there. The vacation started July the 5th, 1988. This was just 3 days after moving from Sarnia. Here's Janet's words as we read it from the diary. July 2, 1988, Saturday. Moving day, finally leaving. Got to the new house at 2:30 p.m. Janet and Bob moved from Sarnia, to the left of this picture, to 139 Olympic Crescent in London. We're showing here the surrounding towns and a closer view of the area showing the nearness of the University of Western Ontario. A final view showing the house near Gainsborough, not too far from Fanshawe Park Road that heads out to Strathroy and can go to South. And University of Western Ontario to the right of this picture. At 8 o'clock they got up, and probably by around 9 o'clock they actually got on the road, heading towards the left on this picture, which would bring them to the U.S. border at Sarnia. In this picture, we're showing the journey from London to the first reference point, Trappers Creek Adventure Gulf, up in the top of Michigan, where the B is located. A closer view, and another view as up there, that's Campsites of America, will gradually come into view. A little closer view, and here's the Mackinac Island KOA, and a pictures taken recently of this location. Here's the front office and the playgrounds as they are in 2014, and the swimming pool, which was probably around there in 1988 for the kids to enjoy. And here's the Trapper Creek golf course. Here's little Lauren and Sherry. And a closer view. And another view. And here's Dylan, age 10. He's got his trusty camera in his hand. Here he is in another view of the Adventure Golf area. And again a closer. The next day, the family left the KOA at about 8 o'clock and traveled for some 3 hours before they stopped on the shores of picturesque Lake Superior. So I've got Marquette located here as the most likely location. And a view of the South Beach Park where they probably swam. Picture of Dylan in the water in Lake Superior. And a close-up picture. And there's Sherry waving with her feet and hands in the water. A lot of fun. She's 11 years. And here's little 2-year-old Lauren having a ball. And now a nice family group picture Lorne and Sherry and Dylan being hugged by Tracy. From Marquette, they then traveled over to Hurley, Wisconsin, where they stayed at a Holiday Inn. I had some fun trying to locate this Holiday Inn, as it has since changed hands a number of times, but we have a picture of it. From the Holiday Inn in Hurley, Wisconsin, they traveled now to Ivanyshyn in Minnesota. We have another view near the Chippewa National Forest, as you can see. And now we're getting closer and closer. And they came across Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. An aerial view is bringing us closer and closer. You can almost see it now. And now you can see the shadows and a little bit of the top of the two statues. They stopped here for a while. Here it is in a 2014 view. And here they are in a 1988 view. A close-up with Bob and Sherry and Lorne and Tracy and Dylan, with Janet behind the camera. The diary shows that after this area, they then traveled to Burger King. From this city where the Paul Bunyan statues are located, they went south to Park Rapids, where there's a KOA that they stopped for the night. Here's a picture of the swimming pool, as it is in this year 2014, and some of the scenery that they probably saw back in 1988. And now they took a picture for some reason of an aircraft flying overhead. From Park Rapids, Minnesota, they went to Bismarck, North Dakota. In Bismarck, they stayed at a Ramada Inn. Getting closer in this picture, where you can see the expressway and the interchange. And this is what the Ramada Inn looks like 2014. The family now traveled from Bismarck, North Dakota to Miles City, Montana. From Miles City to Billings, Montana, where they stayed for the night. We're closing in on the KOA campgrounds in Billings, Montana. Now you can see the campground showing up quite clearly. And this is what the campgrounds look like in 2014. This is the as they currently are. And if you wanted a cottage, they have these. Some more campground area pictures. From Billings, Montana, they traveled to Gardner, Montana. It took them about 2.5 hours. Closing in on Gardner, Montana, they're traveling this time to Rocky Mountain RV Park. One of the views on the park website in the area. This is one of the places that they may have stopped with their camper. This is another picture from the website. A picture of a ferry boat leaving a small dock area on Yellowstone River in Gardner, Montana. Another view, a close-up. Dylan with his camera, Sherry and Lauren on an outcropping where you can see far below the hilly areas around Gardner, Montana. This is a view of the hills near Yellowstone River in Gardner, Montana. A picture of Tracy beside the sign that tells her not to go wandering down the hill. A close-up of Tracy and the sign. Here's Dylan and Sherry making faces beside Gardner River, which runs into Yellowstone River at Gardner, Montana. This is a picture of the north entrance to Yellowstone Park from the internet, 2014. This is a picture of the Yellowstone North Gate. The family now traveled from Gardner, Montana to Mammoth Hot Springs in Wyoming. On the way, the family stopped and posed for a few pictures. Here is Tracy and Lauren, 2 years old. This shows the windy road going down to the hot springs. Amongst the beautiful mountains in this picture, we get a view of the tent trailer that they are using for this whole 3-week vacation. Another view of the mountains and the road, and in this case, a bison or buffalo who has decided the road is much better than the grass to walk on. Another view of the general area. An internet picture of the Mammoth Hot Springs. With this picture we were able to lock the next pictures onto their correct location. Here's a picture that the family took in 1988. Here's the family walking along the platform at the Mammoth Hot Springs. You can see Sherry, Dylan, little Lauren, and Tracy and Bob. Janet's behind the camera. Janet was able to catch a lovely double rainbow in this area. And further along, we see a moose and her calf. This map shows the journey from the Mammoth Hot Springs to the Old Faithful Lodge, where we have some pictures also. Some information on the Old Faithful Inn. The largest log structure in the world. As a National Historic Landmark, Old Faithful Inn is the most requested lodging facility in the park. Built in 1903-4 with local logs and stone, the inn is considered the largest log structure in the world. The towering lobby features a massive stone fireplace and handcrafted clock. 1988, just before the family came to Yellowstone National Park. No, they didn't start it. June the 14th, a small fire starts in Storm Creek, just north of Yellowstone National Park. And it continued, by the way, for many months. some of the lodge as they experienced it in 1988. And there's Dylan smiling at the camera. While at the Old Faithful area, they stayed at the hotel on Monday, July the 11th. And then the next day, they traveled over to Twin Falls through the irrigation systems that are now evident. Each green area is a piece of farmland being irrigated. And the KOA head office at Twin Falls, parking spots. They would have set up their tent in one of these areas. Now traveling from Twin Falls to Ontario, Oregon is a trip that took them about 3 hours or so. Here's the Holiday Inn that they stayed at in Ontario, Oregon. The lobby and the swimming pool. From Ontario, Oregon, they traveled to Klamath Falls. This was about a 7-hour trip through windy mountain areas. I can see the Hart Mountain National Antelope Refuge. No doubt they enjoyed seeing the antelope in that area. As we close in on Klamath Falls, Oregon, and the Winema National Forest just above it. Closing in some more, you can see the upper Klamath Lake. The next frame shows the Klamath Falls KOA coming into view. Aerial view of Klamath Falls KOA, and a picture now of a mineral store at Klamath Falls KOA. The campgrounds. Another picture of the campgrounds with the swimming pool. And some recreation areas for the children. Klamath Falls, by the way, is very close to the Crater Lake National Park. And they then traveled up to there. As you can see, it's a 48-minute journey by car. A closer view of Crater Lake. And an aerial view of Crater Lake. And here is a picture of Crater Lake from the KOA website. While at Crater Lake, Janet bought some slides. This is a wind view of Crater Lake with the snow and ice formations on the trees. A summer view. Another winter view of the air. A view of Wizard Island. Another view from the shoreline. The family got up rather early at Klamath Falls because they wished to journey over to Crescent City later on in the day. First they went to Crater Lake National Park and stayed there for a short time, and then taking Route 62 and 234 and 199, they went to Crescent City. to the redwoods. We're now zeroing in on the KOA, closer. And now we have an aerial view of the campgrounds with the Lake Earl nearby. Another aerial view and a final aerial view. This is the KOA website showing some of its features, including the tall redwoods. The office, general. An example of the campgrounds. Another example. Similar to the pictures that were taken. A picture of Dylan by the seashore. A picture of Tracy and Lauren. A close-up of Tracy. A picture of Bob looking out at the waters. What looks like in the evening. A picture of the kids in the distance enjoying the beach. And a close-up. From the Crescent City KOA, they traveled along Route 101, taking about 6 hours to get down to Petaluma, California. But they had a number of stops on the way. So this picture just shows the route. The first leg of the journey, going to Klamath, California. Notice the similar name to Klamath Falls. With an aerial view of Klamath, we can see that there's an area called the Trees of Mystery. Getting closer to the Trees of Mystery, Paul Bunyan and the Blue Ox tourist area. Here's a picture of Dylan and another person in the shadows of the Paul Bunyan feet. The time is about 9 o'clock and so the sun hasn't risen too high yet. Another early morning picture of Babe, the Blue Ox, and again Dylan standing on the shoe. From Klamath, they travel down to Piercy. A journey, it appears to be about 2.5 hours. And a close-up of the final leg of the journey to the drive-through tree area. And here's Lauren enjoying herself sitting on a bench in the shade. A close-up view. The tree house, believe it or not. And a picture of a couple of the kids, looks like little Lauren, possibly Sherry, underneath this tree. There's a close-up of the two and a few people walking by. From Piercy, they went to Leggett, California, and as we can see, it's very close, just about 11 miles. In the redwood forest area, so you're going to see some of these very tall trees. Closing in on Leggett, and here we have the chandelier tree and some information about it. There's an image of a car driving through it at one time. and at another time of the appearance of it, 1941 and 2005, so things have not changed too much. And here's Dylan with his trusty in the same location, and a blow-up of him smiling. As you can tell, it's certainly nice warm weather. From Leggett, they now traveled the rest of the journey to the Petaluma KOA, which by the looks of it takes about 2.5 hours with the route I have chosen for them. We don't always know which route the family took. Zeroing in on the Petaluma KOA, and now here's an aerial view and another aerial view, really close up now, and pictures from the KOA website showing some of them there in the year 2014 now. There's a swimming pool, and in the area there's a lot of wine growing, so people can have wine tasting tours. Nearby is the San Francisco Bridge as shown here, and what we're doing connects the pictures that the family took with pictures that are on the internet. Here's another picture of the Bay Bridge, and here's the picture that the family took, and another picture that Janet took. Now from the Petaluma KOA, they traveled down to Fisherman's Wharf. It appears to be a trip of about an hour. Zeroing in on the Fisherman's Wharf here in San Francisco. Here's a picture of Sherry and Lauren being held on the statue, and Dylan smiling at the camera. From Fisherman's Wharf, they then traveled to the Santa Cruz North KOA, an hour-and-a-half journey, where they stayed the night. Zeroing in on the KOA, a little bit closer view, and here's the picture from their website at the front of this KOA campgrounds. The lodge, I believe it says registration on that sign there. Another picture, and a view of the campground areas where they park their tent trailer. And one more picture of the local area. Now from the Santa Cruz North KOA, they traveled a good 2.5 hours past Santa Cruz and down to Monterey, California. Zeroing in on the Lone Oak Lodge that they stayed at. And now you can see the Lone Oak Lodge, the area of Monterey, near the coast. Now an aerial view of the lodge and some other pictures. And here's the Lone Oak Lodge from their website, and some of its characteristics from the year 2014. One of the bedrooms that the family may have stayed in. And now from the Lone Oak Lodge, they traveled to Pebble Beach, which just across the town. And here they are, little Lauren being wrapped up by Tracy. Obviously, it would appear that it wasn't as warm as it was in previous pictures. Here they are, close-up view. And another view of the beach. And this is a picture of the lone cypress at sunset, because Janet thought that the picture that she took was of the lone cypress. It appears that there are lots of cypress, and this is a particular lone cypress that is talked about. Trip from Monterey to the KOA in Bakersfield. It's a 4.5, almost 5-hour journey, zeroing in on the Bakersfield KOA. As we can see, it's on Lake Isabella, and it's called the Kern River KOA. Now you can see Lake Isabella in this aerial view. You can't quite see the KOA's location yet. Now you can start to see the KOA and the campgrounds. Here's a view of the whole KOA area, as it is in 2014. Internet pictures of the KOA site. The front of it and the camping areas. And a lovely picture of the swimming pool in 2014. From the Lake Isabella Kern River KOA, they traveled some 3 hours south to Los Angeles, to a KOA located not too far from the movie area of the city. And now a closer view of the Los Angeles Pomona Fairplex KOA. And it's near Mountain Meadows Country Club, so it's in a lovely area. And here's an aerial view of the campgrounds itself. You can see the swimming pool on the left, the camping areas on the middle and right. Pictures of the KOA itself, 2014 pictures. The front entrance, the camping area, ground view. After they arrived at the KOA, they obtained tickets to go to Universal Studios for a day visit. And they really enjoyed themselves immensely. Universal Studios is just about a half-hour drive from the KOA. We zero in on this area closer, where we can see the layout of that system for making the movies. And now we have an aerial view of the Universal Studios in Hollywood. From the internet, Universal Studios, Hollywood. A scene enacting drama with police cars. Universal Studios Park. A picture of some people with characters from the cartoons. And one of the slides. This is a water slide with a number of people in a boat. Janet's family bought a few slides. Hollywood, California, 1974. The next slide is again Hollywood, California, Burbank, NBC Disney Studios, 1974. The next slide is Hollywood, California, home of Robert Young, from 1974. The next picture is the NBC studio tour of 1978, probably showing the feet of King Kong. This last picture is a TV production, 1981. The next day, Friday, they left Los Angeles for Las Vegas. It took them approximately 3.5 hours. This was a journey of 240 miles. No pictures of Las Vegas were taken. Zeroing in on Las Vegas. In Las Vegas for 2 nights at the Travel Lodge. Here's a picture of the Travel Lodge from 2014, showing the lobby and one of the bedrooms. Here are a few pictures of Las Vegas. We're now traveling from Las Vegas towards Lake Mead. In this map, I have the information that the next picture we have is of Dillon and Lake Mead. While I say we will attempt to find the location, I was totally unable to locate it. So we give up on that. Coming in on the Hoover Dam. Obviously, Dillon must have been standing beside the road just before we got to Hoover Dam. Here is Dillon at the sign, entering Lake Mead National Recreation Area. Down below is the Lake Mead Reservoir. Here's a close-up of Dillon, enjoying himself in the hot, blazing sun. An aerial view of Lake Mead, showing the bay and the separation between Nevada and Arizona. Closing in on the Hoover Dam, which blocks the river and causes the lake. Getting a little bit closer, and soon you'll be able to see the hydroelectric power system. The generators are located inside the dam. From the Hoover Dam, they traveled on to Williams, Arizona. The total journey, according to this map, is about 3.5 hours, 220 some miles. Zeroing in on this KOA, and now here's an aerial view and a final view showing the entrance, places for people to park their RVs and trailers. Here is a picture from the KOA website showing the parking facilities. Pool, which the kids may have enjoyed back in 1988. They also have various recreation, such as this miniature golf course. Another view of some of the things for the kids. From the Williams Circle Pines KOA, they traveled almost 5 hours, almost 300 miles over to Cortez, Colorado. Closing in on this location, getting closer. Walmart Supercenter nowadays, certainly probably no Supercenter back in 1988. Closing in on the place they stayed at, the Baymont Motel. Here are some of the rooms from the website showing the 2014 pictures. And they have a lovely swimming area. Looks like an interior atrium. From Cortez, Colorado, they traveled this is kind of funny. It says to an unnamed location. Anyway, Durango, Colorado. What we're aiming at is to show the Coal Bank Pass, which is visible in this zeroing in on an aerial view of the Coal Bank Pass, you can see the effects of the highly mountainous area. On the left is Engineer Mountain. I don't see any other things. Okay, here is a information item. Coal Bank Pass. 10,640 feet, 3,243 meters. The picture on the right of this image looks a lot like the next picture which we have of the family. Here's the family at 10,640 feet. We have little Lauren standing in front of Tracy with Dylan to the side. Here is a close-up view, extremely grainy. There was severe problems with this slide. Here's a picture of Bob and Janet with Tracy in the background, Sherry in the front, and little Lauren. Dylan took the picture. From Coal Bank Pass, it took them about 2 hours to get to the KOA at Montrose, or Black Canyon National Park. This map shows the aerial view. Closing in on the KOA, you can see the now zeroing in on Mount Rose, and here's a set of pictures from the KOA website showing the entrance, the parking facilities, the swimming pool. Near this KOA, the kids stopped to have some fun fishing. Here's a picture with Sherry to the right and Dylan to the left. I understand that the picture was taken probably late in the afternoon. From Mount Rose, Black Canyon National Park, they traveled over to the Denver West Central City KOA. It took them something like 5 hours. Zeroing in on the KOA, you can see it's outside of Denver, to the west of it. From this aerial view, you can see that there's quite a lot of hills in this rocky area. You can see a switchback down near the bottom of this picture. Zeroing in on the KOA, you can see the camping facilities. From their website, here's a view of the grocery store and the front office. Some of the places where the family stayed. They had a tent trailer. Another view, and another view. From Denver, they then traveled to North Platte, Nebraska. This journey indicates on this map that it's about 5 hours. Zeroing in on North Platte, we have them aimed at a Holiday Inn Express there. Again, this information passage of time, because sometimes the hotels changed hands. Zeroing in on the Holiday Inn Express, and here's a picture from their website, and another picture of the lovely area. From the Holiday Inn Express, family traveled pretty well 6 hours. Ramada, Des Moines. Zeroing in on the Ramada. And here's a picture from their website of the Ramada in 2014. And a very nice lobby area. Here's a picture of some of the bedrooms. The kids would have stayed in perhaps a double bed type arrangement. And the kids would have loved the swimming pools. From the hotel there, they then traveled all the way to Kalamazoo, a trip of at least 7 hours. Zeroing in on the Holiday Inn there, we can see we're near the lake. Another aerial view of Kalamazoo. And here's a picture from their website. I've got a picture of the gymnasium, probably located beside the swimming pool. Here's the pool. Here's one of the bedrooms. This is probably like the bedrooms they actually stayed in. The last part of the journey, on the last day, took them from Kalamazoo over to London, Ontario, passing through their old home in Sarnia. Closing in on London, closing in on their home address. And here's an aerial view of the house as it is now in 2014. And this is the end of all the pictures. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the other movies.